Hey Big Lap Bible, I'm Brittany.
I'm Shaun. This is Max.
And we're from Roam and Round. We're going to answer a few questions for you today. So I've got my phone here.
We are full-time travellers. We left in February 2022. We went from New South Wales, Newcastle, that's where we're from. We went down to Tasmania for 5 weeks, across to South Australia, then it was too cold, so we went up the centre to Darwin, and now we're currently heading around the west coast and at Cape Caravan at the moment.
Yeah, it's a really nice spot here. We'll show you around real soon. So we decided to do a big lap once Max was born. So it was before I was even pregnant that we thought it'd be a great opportunity whilst we have a baby or a young one to travel around together, so that we could spend as much time as we could as a family. It's a really special time, I think.
Yeah,
being able to see all of his first, like both of us, and neither of us being at work.
Yeah, I've always wanted to spend as much time as possible with our kids. And this has been, yeah, it's been great, hey?
Yeah, it has.
Awesome.
It's been really fun. So we kind of spoke about that before.
Yeah.
So we're at Cape Caravan.
Heading down the west coast, we'll do the Coral Coast, Carangini, and then we don't make too many more plans after that. We'll just see where we end up.
Yeah. So we have a Toyota Fortuner, that is what we tow with. It's basically the wagon version of the Hilux. So it's a soccer mum car, as Shaun calls it.
Yeah.
But it has 7 seats, and we've taken the 2 seats out the back to make room for a fridge and a couple of drawers, so we can go without the caravan if we want to, which we have done before.
Yeah, so if we want to do like Fraser Island, Cape York, or the Gibb River Road, which we just finished, we can do that in a tent or a swag, whatever you have, because our caravan is a 1980s Millard, like a retro one. It's only a 16 foot, and that's big enough for us. We've fully redone inside because I'm a carpenter by trade. It's got all your essentials in there, like a coffee machine, toilet, and Max has got a full-size cot, which is also good. Yeah,
we don't have a shower, but we, as we'll show you soon, we have a shower tent on the side of the car. So we have an instantaneous hot water system that we just easily hook up and attach to the side of the car, and that's our shower. It's been really good since we've been in the warm weather. We haven't even needed hot water, but yeah, our caravan's really homey, so we love it. Come over here, Max. Come here. I'm gonna have to go get him. When Snack's alive. Okay.
We used to just try and do free camps, but then we found ourselves chasing our tail all the time because the free camps are usually so far out of the main attractions that we didn't want to leave the van there in case something like it got stolen or something. So we'd end up towing it in for half an hour, and then by the time you get in there it's another half an hour back, and we'll just go, oh, let's just move on to the next spot. So then you end up burning so much fuel, and it ends up costing you more. But now we sort of spend a bit more.
Yeah, we try to do like low cost camps, I would say. So like we're not keen on the big caravan parks because they're so jam packed together. Like everyone, you can hear someone cough next door. So we're not into that kind of thing. Like the place that we're at now is beautiful. It's a low cost camp. I think it's run by the National Park or something. But it was, I think, $32 a night. That's including the day visitors pass, and you will see that there is no one around. So I think there's like someone maybe 150 meters up the road. That's the closest person to us. So that's kind of the style that we like to do, where if there's water, then that's great. We only have an 80-litre tank in our caravan, so it seems to last us about 3 days.
We've also got another 60-litre in the car, so we can do a day trip into a town, fill up that, and that'll fill up the caravan. So all up, we can get about 5 days out of it, fully off-grid. Yeah, we don't need
power or anything like that, so that's not an issue with the caravan parks.
We're gonna do 2. So the best free camp and the best paid camp. Personally, I think the best paid camp was a place called Smithy's which is up towards Cape Levesque or Cape Leveque.
Just
right
north
on
of
the river.
Broome.
Yeah, just north of Broome in Western Australia. It's got good fishing, beautiful water, camping on the beach. There's drinking water, toilets, showers, not that we use them. And it was just, yeah, it was $40 a night and it was just an unreal spot. Also, I put a bonus one in, Point Plummer.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Oh, yeah, Point Plummer, New South Wales.
So it's like 3 hours from north of Newcastle.
Yeah.
And it's our ultimate all-time favourite camp spot in Australia, I would say.
Everything.
Like, we can't beat it. We've been there that many times when we lived in Newcastle. It's got cold showers, toilets, but it's right on the water also.
Yeah.
You don't have as good a waterfront views as Smithies, but it's still a hop, skip and a jump over to the beach. And there's good surfing, there's walking tracks, you can launch your boat off there. It's just an all-round great place. Good vibes there too, always.
Yeah. Great for surfing and fishing too, if you're into that.
Yeah.
And as for free camps on this trip, my favourite would have to be Gun Point in the Northern Territory. It's
in Darwin.
Yeah, Northern Territory.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to Darwin and then it's northeast of that, about an hour away from Darwin, and it's on the beach. So you drag the old caravan down on the actual beach. You can't swim there because of crocodiles, but there's no power water or anything. It's just perfect. It's just a beach camp.
Yeah, it's a beautiful beach camp.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. They're probably my favourite ones as well. They're the ones that stand out the most for sure. Biggest caravan park that we've stayed at is in Glenelg. We stayed at the Big Four there.
In Adelaide, yeah.
Yeah, in Adelaide, and there was about 3 different pools. You couldn't walk around the caravan park because it was that big.
Yeah, it's massive.
Only probably like the free camp stops, the places that, you know, you're driving through that you don't necessarily want to stay at, but you have to because you've been driving all day.
Yeah.
Like,
but they're not really a camp spot anyway. They're just like a pullover on the side of the road sort of thing.
Well, you know what? A place that we wouldn't go back to is probably like Halls Creek or Fitzroy Crossing.
Yeah, probably not back there.
And that leads us on to that other question. So that's when we were talking about Halls Creek. Yeah,
right. So we left the van in Kununurra, which is the top of WA before the Gibb River Road. We left the van there because the van would have just got shaken and probably wouldn't have come back. So we did the Gibb in a tent and we went along, that was fine. Came back down the Tunnel Creek, Winjana Road, and then we stopped at Halls Creek. Yeah, that was an experience, hey?
Yeah, well, we didn't want to just stay in a free camp, which there is a lot along that road in a tent. So we're in a bit of a situation, and we were already driving for a few hours that day. So we thought we'd stop for the night in a better caravan park. But we literally pulled into this caravan park, and it was just all asphalt. That we were parked on, so we couldn't peg the pegs in the ground because it was obviously too hard. And
the wind picked up that night and was flapping everything. A car kept coming in every 5 minutes with its high beams on, facing our tent.
So it would do like a loop, and its headlights would go into our tent and then around the corner, like every 5 minutes.
And then there was just people screaming around. Oh yeah, it was a good time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Personally, I think the item I couldn't live without is a good 12-volt system. We spent a fair bit of money on ours. You don't have to spend that much money, but it was great, or it is great. We've got a full lithium Enerdrive system that we'll show you soon, and I can't fault it. It's just so good, hey?
Yeah, it's great. Okay. We got snacks. We got more snacks. And what I couldn't live without, when we were on the Gibb River Road, we bought these really cheap seats, like triangle. You can only just fit your butt on them, and I think that is, you need to have good seats. Like, you think about how much you sit on your couch at home. We sit on our chairs outside probably more.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that doesn't really get looked into.
Yeah,
like everyone just gets like the cheap ones from Kmart, and that's all good and well until you're on the road for more than a week and
Yeah.
you feel like you're cramped up. And also if you got a baby, like you want somewhere good for like breastfeeding, or
Yeah.
the baby's always on you, so you need to get in and out
Yeah.
of your chair easy enough.
Definitely. And then another thing that we couldn't live without, I could name them forever,
yeah.
but we've got a full-size cot for Max, as Shaun mentioned earlier, but over the cot we've got what's called a SnoozeShade, so it blocks out the light and it keeps him trapped in. I call it like a little cage, so it zips him up at the top and he can't really stand up.
It's fully breathable though.
Yeah, I feel like it's his own little sanctuary. He's bed, so he's comfortable. He doesn't know any different at the same time. So everyone always asks, you know, how is having a baby on the road? But he's been in the van since he was 6 months. Like we went on trips before he was 6 months old. So he doesn't know any different. And yeah, he is a really good sleeper in the van. So we're very thankful for that.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a few investments back at home in Newcastle, which helps pay for a fair bit of beer money. And yeah, we saved a fair bank before we left.
Yeah.
We don't desire to do too much work on the road, but if there's something fun, we'll do it. Or
yeah, we want to do it more as an experience rather than like having to work on the road. So we just had a really good opportunity pop up in Broome. Shaun met some really cool people, so he ended up working there for a week and a half, and that was a great experience. But yeah, no desire to kind of find a job on the road, just kind of coasting through.
Just keep going until we find somewhere really cool, you know, like that we want to spend a lot of time in. Like, or raise kids there or something, who knows.
Yeah, just see where the wind takes us. We calculated this the other day. We have spent so much more than what we thought we would, not meaning to scare anyone out of it.
Nah.
We budgeted originally, this sounds so stupid, $450 a week. We're like, yep, it'll be 1 tank of fuel, and this was when fuel was like
$1.50.
Yeah, $1.50. Groceries weren't as expensive, and we just didn't factor in all the other costs, like when you want new clothes, or when something breaks, or you know, your sunglasses get broken, things like that. I guess we didn't really think that it would be that much, but in
or you
saying
need new
that,
tyres, or you need a service on your car, or you know, your insurance is due.
It's all the little things that add up, but we have probably calculated it at around $1,200, would you say?
Yeah, $1,200.
$1,200 a week, and that's living comfortably. Like, we don't budget too much.
Yeah, if we want to go for a beer or a pub feed, we'll go for a beer or a pub feed. Like. And if we want to spend 3 weeks in a caravan park, we'll spend 3 weeks in a caravan park.
Or if we find something that we want to buy, like a nice
fishing rod. Or...
yeah, a fishing rod. You bought a fishing rod the other day.
Yeah.
Or if I see something cool for Max, like a new toy or something, like I'll buy that. We're not gonna not buy that stuff just because you know.
That's our life. Like this is what we worked hard for at home, and this is what we do. So it's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Expensive.
Oh yeah, I guess so. We just said that. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much more expensive it is on the road.
There's no service in Australia, like phone service. So we download books, podcasts, Netflix. Like once you figure that out, it's a bit easier, especially for the long drives, because you get sick of listening to the same music.
Yeah.
So we download audiobooks and podcasts. They're helpful.
Yeah. And then if you only have 1 bar of 4G, you may as well throw your phone in the river because it's not going to work.
Yeah, that just doesn't work at all.
No. I think that it's having the freedom to wake up and not have so much as a routine or know what you're doing next week. A lot of people ask, like, where are you heading? And it's even like the direction sometimes that we're not sure about. You want more sultanas? Daddy get some for you. And just being able to spend so much time together as a family. I know that it would drive some people absolutely nuts being together, but Shaun and I have been together since we were 17. So we've been together for a long time. When we first got together, he moved in straight away. So we've kind of haven't been separated for that long,
No.
so we're
2
comfortable
weeks probably the max.
living in a tin can together.
Don't eat them all, mate.
Shoves all the sultanas in his mouth at once. That's how they're going so fast.
Yeah.
What's the favourite?
Mine's just,
yours?
yeah, like being able to spend time with Max and Brittany for as long as we do. That was always our plan for travelling, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
just to spend as much time together.
Yeah, and also like having no expectations at a place and then it exceeding your expectations.
Yeah.
So you get somewhere and you're like, oh wow. I'm surprised how many times we've had an oh wow moment.
Yeah.
Still, like we've been traveling for 8 months now, and we'll get to somewhere and with pretty low expectations,
And
we get there
wow.
and we're like, wow,
This is
how can
crazy.
this still
Yeah.
surprise us? Australia's just so vast, there's so many things to see. Like you go from forest to the beach to mountains to
All in the one day.
gorges. Yeah, all in the one day, exactly
Yeah.
right.
Like even driving up the centre of Australia, you think, oh, it's just going to be desert, it's going to be nothing, and then you drive, 10 minutes will be trees in the middle of the desert, next 10 minutes you'll be back to red dirt, and then the next 10 minutes you'll be in like big, like grey rocks everywhere, or boulders like the Devil's Marbles, like
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's out of this world really.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's back to the battery system, the biggest splurge.
Yeah.
It costs more than the caravan itself, so
Yeah.
that's saying something right there, I think.
It definitely helps though, like we never have to look at solar, we never have to look at anything. We only ever plugged into mains power once, and that was only recently. Is because
In
we
Broome.
in Broome, because we parked under a tree
More snacks.
for 5 days, and then after 5 days it said your battery's getting a bit low, so we then plugged in. But we've had that system since
April?
yeah, it's over 12 months now.
Oh yeah, like April the year
Yeah.
before, a year and a half at least.
Yeah.
And we've never had to plug in.
No, so that's
Yeah.
definitely the biggest splurge.
Yeah, 100%. Something that we have bought but don't use so far, and we're going to use it, is the snorkels.
Snorkels,
So
yeah.
when we left, we went to Tassie, South Australia, and it was cold for say like 16 weeks. So we weren't doing much swimming at all. And then we went up through the middle, up to Darwin, and I mean, it's croc territory. So you can't swim there.
No.
You can't even swim here. Like we do a quick dip and then we get straight back out because there's crocodiles,
Sea
there's
snakes.
stingers, sea snakes, stingrays. There's everything that you don't want when you're going swimming in the water. So we're planning on, when we get to Exmouth, using the snorkels for the
Yep.
first time there.
We're pretty excited for the Coral Coast, hey? Like,
Yeah.
so we can use those things.
Yeah. So that's probably the only thing that we've really got that we haven't used, I would
Yeah.
say. We're pretty good at cleaning things out. We're minimalists, I would say,
Yeah.
in the sense, even when we lived in a house, we didn't have like heaps of furniture or heaps of stuff, I guess you would say. So we had a lockdown in August in Newcastle. So Max was born in July and Shaun just went back to work and I was still in the newborn bubble. So it didn't really affect us whatsoever. I was quite happy to stay at home by myself with Max and we just went for a walk every day. But it didn't affect our plans to travel whatsoever because we wanted to wait for his needles until he was a bit older.
Until he's 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, until we got on the road.
Yeah.
So it didn't really affect us.
My tip would be don't keep up with the Joneses. Just whatever you got, just go and do it in that. Like it's fun regardless. Like you don't need the big expensive caravan, the
You
big
don't need
expensive
the
car.
200 series with the Sunseeker to
you don't
live
need-
a lifestyle that
No.
we're living.
No.
You don't need all the bells and whistles. You can make do with, you know, whatever you've
Yeah.
got. Think about, go away, go for a shakedown, make sure that you've got all the essentials that you want.
Yeah. You don't
Right.
need air conditioning. Everyone always says, oh, you don't have air conditioning. You don't need it.
No, you don't need it.
And then every time you do want your air conditioning, you'll be somewhere off grid and everyone's going to bite me for here, but you can't really run your air conditioner off your power system you got anyway. So you need to be plugged into mains power, where if you're off grid, well, you obviously don't have mains power. So yeah, just go, just get out there and do what you like doing.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Don't wait. Once you packed up everything in your house and you leave, you'll be thinking, I should have done that sooner.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we thought, hey.
Well, I've never met anyone that's travelled Australia or the world and said, oh, I wish I stayed at home. Like, they talk about it for years and years and years. Even your dad, he's like 60 now, and he still says that's one of his best trips he ever done was travel around Australia.
Yeah, he did it when he was around 26, so just a bit younger than what we were.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's such a great experience, such a great learning experience for kids as well, no matter how old they are.
Yeah, no, we've met kids from like 4 weeks old all the way up to like teenagers, and
yeah,
they're always loving it.
They're all having a great time, and they're all such polite kids as well.
Yeah, very well mannered.
Yeah. I guess they need to learn to talk to people and meet new people. Like Max, even now, someone will walk past a stranger and he'll be waving at them, saying hello. So friendly.
Yeah, it's awesome. Such a great experience for them.
Yeah. But I think that is our number one tip.
Yep. I think
Just
so too.
do it. Just do it.
Get out there.
Give it a go.
Go and see Australia, mate.
All right. We'll show have a run around.
Yeah. I'll just run through the car. We have the 85 litre Bushman fridge, a few buckets and things there, just the drawers, 60 litre water tank that I got custom made off a friend from home. Then down here we have 100 amp hour lithium battery and charging points, cigarette lighter stuff. On the roof, 180 watt solar panel, bull bar, aerial, and just BF Goodrich all terrains. That's pretty well it. Oh, and a 2-inch lift, airbags in the rear for towing, and that's our shower tent up there. So that comes out and we can have a shower there when we need to. Of the caravan?
Yeah.
This is our caravan. It's a 1980s Millard. The outside's pretty well stock, but I've put in this tunnel boot, and it allows us to put our barbecue and a few other things out here. That's our hot water shower. That all tucks away neatly. It's pretty dirty at the moment because we've been doing dirt roads. Oh yeah. It's got 4 180 watt solar panels on the roof for our solar. And Brittany will take you inside.
Thank you. So we haven't actually done anything different to the caravan suspension wise, lifting, to go on any dirt roads. So if you do check out our Instagram, you'll see how often we go on dirt roads and explore different areas. It doesn't restrict us whatsoever. So you can see, like, that's kind of the height of it. But going inside, don't mind the sand on the floor. So walking in, you've got Max's bed on the left. So you can see he's got a full-size cot, and this is the SnoozeShade that we were talking about. So get to lock him right in. He's got all his books there. He's got his own Sirocco fan. So a lot of people ask us about the heat and what we do about the heat. So he's got his own fan, and then this is a really cool hack too. I'll just show you quickly. It's a cooling pad. It's actually a pet cooling pad. So we put it underneath his sheet when it's really hot inside the van, and the pressure on it, it just keeps it nice and cool. So yeah, that's his little area. He's got here, we've got the electrical system at the top, the essentials, the coffee machine, obviously, fruit basket. We do have a full-size bin, which I think a lot of caravans don't have. So we love that. Another Bushman's fridge. We've got, it's 130 litre Bushman's fridge. So we redid the floors all inside, we reupholstered the seat, don't mind, it's a little bit stained. That's as good as it's gonna get. We've got this table here, and it does actually swivel to the side, just to give us more room. I used to set up my chair there in the night to feed Max. Got our bed at the back, and over this side we've got a drawer system for all Max's toys. We've got a toilet and some extra cupboard space at the back there. So that's kind of the whole van. We've got up here another Sirocco fan that gets us on the bed. Originally, when we first bought the van, the bed was facing the other way, so the bed head was over here at the window, and it blocked out this whole space here. So since we've moved the bed down, we've taken out the L-shaped lounge from just here, and just got that bench seat along there, obviously. But now it's just allowed all this room over here for us. So definitely a good move for that. The bed is on what's it called?
Gas struts.
Gas struts. So we've got all the storage underneath the bed and a diesel heater too. We obviously redid the floors, just bought them from Bunnings, and we've got all the baby safe stuff on the cupboards. Looking real aesthetic right there. But I think that is it. You can see the lights. We've got 2 lights on the ceiling. We've got 2 lights underneath the bed, on top of the bed. So just here, they're just touch lights. And we've also got a light underneath here too. So that one's really good for cooking. And I think that is just about it. What do you reckon, Shaun?
I'll run through the...
Oh yeah. Shaun will show you the power system now. So it's underneath Max's bed, so he just flips up the mattress and it's in here.
So in here we have the 200 amp hour lithium battery from Enerdrive, 2000 watt inverter that allows us to run our coffee machine, toaster, charge our laptops, iPads, phones. And then we have the 40 plus DC to DC charger. That's where all our solar comes in, and that is the AC to DC charger if we were to ever plug into mains power. That all fits in there nicely. And yeah, it allows us to run all the essentials, doesn't it?
Yes, very much so.
Woohoo!